friends, this is Thaddeus from Going Nerdy, and today I am joined by two very special friends, and you may know them from the host or from the most recent, probably the best podcast that's out there, and that is called the Escape Pod. I am joined by Scotty and Paul.
How you doing, Robert?
I'm great. Hey, it's one of those things. I try to live my life by everything that's come from the mouth of Ron Swanson. And thank you. And he says that if people get too chummy, call them by the wrong name, and immediately cuts off that chumminess. And it works great. Can I tell you, like, when you're working with kids, calling them the wrong name, it immediately shatters them. It's wonderful. So today we're going to talk about three things. I have these gentlemen on the show to talk about three things. We're going to recap February, speculate about March, and then talk a little bit about what's coming out in April. Nice. Awesome. I was actually listening to your latest episode on Spotify earlier today. Great stuff, guys. Okay, so with that, February. So far, they have been true to their word that is not the month of Sith, but the month of Dark Side. And with that, we've gotten a ton of Separatists. We've got the reworks for Magna Guard. We got a B1, we got B2 rework, we've got Grievous. We've had a lot of really great stuff. But, that's my opinion. Scotty, tell me your initial feelings about everything that's gone on droid related in February.
I love the fact that B1 Battle Droid came to this game. I was so stoked about the fact that he came in. I love this droid. I really do. I love the fact that it's Roger. I love the fact that it just continues to die and comes back. And it also grants health as well to everyone else, which is really cool. I love that. I love Droideka coming to the game too. I just think that's a really cool animation that the guys have got going on with that. Grievous's reworks animation is just out of this world. I love it. But having said that, after playing with it for a little bit, I've only got a 4-star Droideka and a 4-star B1 Battle Droid. My others are at 7 stars. And look, the Gear 9, Gear 10. I just sort of started looking at what the community was saying about them and, that they weren't sort of meta-defining. So I kind of pulled back from my farm with that. But I know that, Paul, mate, you have gone absolutely nuts with the droids. And I think you should tell us all about it, man.
Yeah.
I mean, Scotty, you're playing with, plastic toys while I'm sitting over here playing with actual metal droids. I was on my way home from a late shift at the weekend job and decided to stop in at my local box store, purchase myself a gift card because I did really, really well that night, and ended up pulling a 330 shard all the way about halfway into the 6th star. So had a lot of overflow, but nonetheless, I have a 7-star B1. I ended up, my birthday was just last week. Yeah, happy birthday. I get it. But I was given a gift card from my wife to go ahead and go in there and buy some Droideka shards. And just after I got it to 6-star, I popped a 100.
Jeez.
So I now have actual metal droids while you're just sitting there playing with your plastic toys. These droids they're not meta-defining. No, they're not. I am going to fully admit that they're not meta-defining. But if you wield them right and you play them right, they are a pain.
That's right. And, Thad, I want to tell you about this because Paul's been doing some testing and he actually ran, and he showed me this as a screenshot. He actually ran Grievous lead, B1 Battle Droid, and HK-47 on defense in the 3v3. Took the bloke 5 battles to take him out.
That's crazy. That's That's insane.
Yep. So I'm really looking forward to seeing what could be coming up with that lineup.
Do you think there's something missing with the droid rework?
I don't think there's anything missing from the rework, but I absolutely think that what we will end up with the Separatist droids is going to be wonderful.
Yeah, I agree with that, and I'm already hearing as well that HK47, even before his rework, which we'll talk more about in a moment, but I'm already hearing that in the leadership role actually works better than having Grievous in that role, and they're taking out Magna Guard, which is very, very interesting. That a few people have found that, but look, for me, I think what the story is that it's a great lineup. It really is. I mean, you use Magna Guard to hit that stun. It's awesome. I just think that some people's expectations were maybe just a little bit too high when it came to this because of, well, I guess in some ways, Capital Games released the footage of it absolutely smashing a Revan team, and I think that that's where people actually thought that the expectation was there, that it was going to do that. Look, it can do that, just not all the time.
Yeah.
But no, they didn't. No, they didn't release that team winning all the time. I watched. I'm going to refer back to Arnold's announcement video that he was allowed to do, and want you to watch. I think it was the second or third battle. They got destroyed by Revan. If you actually watch the video of the fights.
I'd have to go back and watch them. But I think that's interesting. And I definitely think that interpretation, right? The seeing what, or I think, let's start that over again. I agree. And I'm going to leave it there. No, I'm not. Here, I think what's happened is we get so psyched about a new character, especially something like this, that's gotten so much hype in and around it. I mean, General Grievous and his rework has been a topic of conversation for years. And so we wanted it to be so amazing. And then typically what we've seen with new characters that have been introduced, especially recently, is these new characters become part of a meta, become part of the meta defining. And so the expectation was set, I think, both with some of the footage that we saw and with the pattern that we've seen from CG, that these new releases would be it, right? And typically, a lot of people are saying, or a lot of people, what they think is they're like, oh, well, everything is going to work well in Arena. But they forget there are other areas of the game that they're really trying to push, right? And I think that we just got so hyped by our own expectations, and definitely a little bit, if not a lot, by the expectations set by Capital Games, that this would be phenomenal. And it's not phenomenal. It's just not as phenomenal as we would have liked it to be.
Having said that, look, I love my Jedi Revan. I really do. But I am feeling the community, and I agree with them, that there has been just probably a lot, well, the last, 13, 14 months has been nothing but KOTOR, and it's just getting to that point now where it's just draining. We want something else, and I think that's the main issue. Paul, what do you think?
I mean, I'm sick and I think I've already mentioned I'm sick and tired of KOTOR. This game is Star Wars Galaxy Heroes, not Knights of the Old Republic Galaxy Heroes.
Now, with that, guys, I do want to move on, and I think personally, I'm thinking because they're going to stay true to form, they're not going to give us anything else in the month of February, right? I mean, there's just no time for it, for one, and two, I don't even think they're going to mention anything for the rest of the month of February. However, that being said, I think on late in the evening on the 28th or on March 1st, it is possible that we could get our next puzzle.
A puzzle?
I think that's 100% correct, Thad. I think that's exactly what's going to happen. But the interesting thing's going to be the login character. Now, we all know that that's it's got to have something to do with HK47, the whole meat bag sort of a thing. It's got to have something to do with him. I'm really interested to see what's going to happen for the month of March. But for me, I think we're going to be going back into the KOTOR universe just quietly, and I think it's going to be Darth Malak. The See You Later meat bags was a massive clue for, of course, HK47. Meat bags being Darth Malak was the original meat bag, and we've also had the Dark Side Bastilla thing where, Bastilla's clue was, of course, about a quote from Darth Malak himself. On with Darth Malak, and to have a meta where you've got the light side Jedi facing off against the major antagonist from the KOTOR, cartoon, or I guess you could say what's the better word? The KOTOR game of Malak v Jedi Revan. I think that you've got yourself the meta there, and it'll be split well and truly in half.
Now, you're Team Malak, I'm Team Revan. I'm thinking it's absolutely going to be another Revan. I think Malak is the end game. That's
Revan's the end game.
No, it's Malak's the end game because Malak is who had to be taken down. And of course, he's Team Malak, I'm Team Revan, and of course we have Thaddeus over here who's Team Royal Grimorian Guard.
Of course. Of course. Dude,
I love to see the gummy.
Oh.
Me too.
Oh, I've reached out to the devs and I've said, guys, I want 3 Zetas on his basic ability. I don't want 3 Zetas across 3 different abilities. I want 3 Zetas on one, and I want it to be the first Zeta on a basic, right? There's no other basic that's Zeta, right? I don't think there is.
No.
But yeah, that's what I want. Now, I could not tell you how excited I am, how excited I would be if all of a sudden they moved away from KOTOR and they went like Jabba the Hutt. They went that, like a scoundrel faction would be mind-blowing. I mean, I heart, obviously, Hondo Ohnaka. I'm currently listening to Pirate's Price, which is like it's a junior novel. It's not even like a legit novel. It's for kids, but not even for...
I thought you were listening to country music, man, because you were going to do a country music song all about Hondo.
Well, that's, it's hit and miss. Actually, there's a Western movie from like the 70s called Hondo that I do feel like I need to somehow dub Hondo Ohnaka into. That would be phenomenal.
Now, of course, we do already have that scoundrel faction, but what we need, if we're going to introduce Jabba, if we're going to introduce Bib Fortuna, if we're going to introduce Crumb, we have to go Crime Lord faction.
Agreed. Agreed.
I don't know. Look, I want to see us go back to, for me, I think it's great that we're going to be doing all these games and the like, and we're honoring KOTOR in the way that they've done it. But it's just gone on for far too long. Had they have separated it with different things, that would have been awesome. Yeah, so you could argue that they did. I mean, like, with the bounty hunters that came through with their rework, the solo characters, and then C-3PO, you could probably argue that. But having said that, it does feel like it's been a grind. It's been a drain. And I think that, look, let's go back to the Clone Wars stuff. Let's fix what's not in the game first, because there's a couple of big characters that aren't in the game just yet that I think we need to have in this game. And let's get those in, and then let's look at the others. Let's then start branching out, because the devs did say that they had, a 5-year plan for this game. So I'd be interested to have a look at that plan, because I want to know what's coming. But I've kind of got some ideas on that.
Okay, so if KOTOR's coming in March, which I do feel like you guys are right, I do feel like that's most likely what we're likely to get, especially with some of the leaks that have been, kind of floating around. April's got some big things going on.
I think so too. I think what we're going to be seeing in April, and this will make people a little bit happy, because these guys need a rework, and they need a rework badly. And if you have a look at the opening screen of the game, you'll see Darth Maul in that opening screen. He's been there for quite some time. And I think that we're going to be seeing a Darth Maul and Savage Oppress rework in that particular month. And for that, I feel as if with them, you'll definitely need probably an episode 3. You'll probably get an episode 3 Kenobi with that as well. I think we'll finally see Obi-Wan Kenobi episode 3 come to this game.
That would be awesome. Paul, thoughts?
Well, if we're talking April, this is going to be the time when you have Droidica and Battle Droid coming to farmable through shards, right?
Yep.
That fits the calendar, right?
It does.
I think that's when they drop the new territory battle map. And they're going to start with the dark side. You're going to need the Separatist droids to unlock the territory battle shard only character. And that, Scotty, is where I subscribe to your idea. That's when we get Crimson Dawn Maul.
Oh, okay.
Very nice. Yeah, I like that. I'd love to see Crimson Dawn Maul come to the game. I think that would be absolutely awesome. But, you know, and to do it with a territory battle map, I think that would be absolutely sensational. I want us to go back to May if I could, fellas, if that's okay.
Yep.
Well, I mean, May, honestly, Scotty, I'd like to save May as the teaser to tune into the Escape Pod cast this Friday.
Wait, no, you guys have a special guest for this Friday's show, right?
Yes, we do. I think that that special guest.
Why don't we have you?
Well, I mean, if you don't have anyone else.
I mean, we could if we talk here, you know,
sure.
We could
just,
you know, bring you right on and continue this conversation coming up in, you know, 4 days from now or 3 days from now.
Of course, the clock is ticking. So, with that, I will leave all of this random conversation out there in the ether for you guys at home to listen to. Let us know what you guys think. What did you think of February? Did you like the whole droid thing? Was there something missing? Were your hopes dashed when you saw Grievous's kit? Or were they dashed when you saw Grievous's kit in action? That's a totally different thing, right? Are you excited to see what's coming in March? Or do you think it's going to be more KOTOR? Like we have seemed to agree. I mean, I might be the only one who really thinks Gamorrean Guard is legitimately coming. But click that little subscribe button and then like the bell button if you guys want to get notified when the latest videos are coming out. Scotty and Paul, tell us where we can find you guys.
Over at the Escape Podcast. And I know that Thad will put a link to our Discord in the links below, guys. So just click on that and you'll be able to come and find us and have some fun.
Awesome.
And you can listen live. Yeah, you can listen live through our Discord channel. You can find us through different podcast networks. But the fun part, if you listen live, you can also interact with us because we always do what we call the bridge, where we interact with you guys, answer your questions. We love just throwing things at the wall and seeing if they stick. And you can get more of Thaddeus's Thoughts Theater, Scotty's Speculation Station, and Paul's Prognostication Pagoda on the Escape Pod cast.
Excellent, excellent. So I will be there on Friday, and I will be listening intently. And every Friday from now on. So, with that, guys, like, subscribe, share. This has been Thaddeus, Paul, and Scotty.
Bye.
Yeah.
As always, my friends, smile and stay nerdy.